Hey everyone, I am Brenda Findley from Findley Feather Farm here in Southern Illinois. Today our video will be on a farm tour type vlog, so stick with us and figure out, what type of animals we have on the farm, and we'll just give you guys a short description on each one. Let's go! I don't really have to go too far, as these indoor cats of ours, we have Sam and Theo. They are pestering me for more food. As you can tell, he is getting pretty well fed, and so is she. She's over here. We've had her for, I think it's been 2 years now. Time has really flown by, huh? And we've had him for, I want to say 6 years, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's been 8 years. My numbers are pretty off whenever it comes to cats, because we've gotten so many. And no, you can't have dog food. You'll get fed in a second. But this is Theo and this is Sam. Yeah, and she's fixed and so is he. Oh, you like lovin's? Yeah, you just like to be loved on when you're hungry. You think this is more enjoyable for us. It probably is. She's more on the shy side, kind of skittish. If you just give her a second, she'll normally come around and she'll be just as lovable as he is. But it's only whenever she wants to be, which I am perfectly okay with. Alright, we've got to go visit more animals. Yeah. This is our newest Findley Feather Farm member, and he is 7 weeks going on 8 weeks. We're not exactly sure on his birth date, but we just picked him up, I want to say it was Wednesday of last week, and he was 7 weeks then, so they told us, and he is a New Zealand rabbit. We plan on breeding them, and we won't do too many rabbits, just enough to where we are they're pretty much paying for themselves in the sense. Yeah, he is very lovable and not very skittish. Of course he gets down and he'll get flat on the ground whenever he's scared, but that's normally when our extra large and large dogs make like loud noises. But he's pretty sweet. He likes to tinkle on people every now and then. And of course we got the lovely butt, the bunny butt. You want to show the bunny butt? No? Okay, that's okay. I'll just keep loving on you. Yeah. Yesterday what I did with him is I had introduced him to the females. And our females are, I want to say they're almost 4 times his size, and they're older than him. And I was just introducing them just to see what they would be, how they would act. I know some females are pretty territorial, and so that's why you bring the female over to the buck instead of the other way around. And whenever I introduced them, they were pretty just lovable towards him. They were getting on both sides and licking him down, because we've been keeping our females together for company. And they were just pinning him one side on this side and just licking him all over. And other than that, they really didn't, they weren't upset that he was in there, and I think he kind of enjoyed it. I think he was just excited to run around, and we've pretty much been keeping him inside because the weather has just been on and off. And with the females being up towards the coop, we're going to bring them down to the barn and put up their pens there. And eventually we're going to set up a rabbit tractor and everything for them to be in those. And so he's pretty much in this tote. And it gets boring, but he gets more than 3 hours outside of it, just running around in the living room, and sometimes I just sit him in the bathroom floor and I'll let him, because there's really nothing in the floor for him to get a hold of, so I just let him run around and wear himself out a bit. And with him being so young, he's pretty active. Yeah, he's one livable rabbit. And I am glad that we got a rabbit that is still young, so we would be able to work with it, because our other two, they're not exactly what I would say like terrified of us, but they are pretty skittish, and it just gets difficult sometimes when we need to pick them up and work with them. Whenever we pick them up, they just kind of latch onto you and they're fine then, but getting them over to your chest from the ground, which any rabbit's almost like that, but they get a little freaked out, so hopefully he'll be a little better. Alright, we gotta go to the next ones, okay? Gotta go see the next animals. Yeah. So these are our new chicks. We got them the same day as we got the buck rabbit. As you can tell, they are all black. They were in a kind of like a tote. The new Tractor Supplies, their setup, they were in one of those with the black sex links, and the rest were like golden comments and so forth. So we know they're not one of those, but they're all black, as you can see. And if I can get them to show you, they have an extra toe. Alright, I know, I'm going to put you back down. Can I see your toe? I'll flip you over maybe. I don't know if you can see that. Right there. They have, like, both of them have toes connected to the other toe. And they were the only ones in there that were like that. So we just went ahead and picked them up to see what they may turn into. And we may keep them, or we may sell them once they get bigger. So this is our oldest chicken coop right now. We do a system where our smallest chicken coop is in the pole barn, and we hold like chicks that have gained enough feathers to be out there, but they still somewhat need a heat source. We put those out there, and it's pretty small coop, which isn't a problem since they're chicks. Now this is for the chicks and ducklings and the turkey poults that are big enough to come outside with enough feathers where they don't need the heat light, but they're not big enough to the point where they can go with the adults in our biggest coop. So I'm going to go ahead and let them out to the bottom now. Hello, guy. What are you doing? Oh, it's okay. I'll let you go. Some of them are a little more friendly. But right now they got feed in this, and it's pretty simple. It's just part of a barrel that we lay down, and they've just been putting some feed out there in that for when they're downstairs. We have 8 ducklings and 6 chicks and 3 turkeys. Yes, hi, Booby. What are you doing? I don't have anything for you up here. Now our turkeys were inside. They were the last ones to come out. As you can see, the ducklings don't really have feathers, but they're Muscovies, and they've been doing pretty well. They don't really need their feathers. They're kind of on the chunkier side, so their heat source is pretty much just their bodies themselves. And with how many chicks that we have up there, it's a decent amount of body heat. Hi. What are you doing? Chicks are a little more skittish. These ducks are kind of iffy, and the turkeys are just all over us. Anytime we come in here, it's kind of hard to just shut the door because they'll be right in the way. Now this turkey, not sure how well it's doing. It acts as if though it's on the colder side. I think the wind's pretty harsh on them, so I may move the board to cover them, because this wind's pretty rough. But he's, or she is, she acts like she's kind of sickish, but I think she's been doing pretty well. So it's definitely not to the point where I'm gonna worry too much, but I'm definitely gonna keep an eye on her. Will you go eat? Where are you going? I'm gonna move that board. Okay. So we're just gonna go move the board over so the wind's not that rough. Hopefully you guys can hear me. I shut the door and here they are right after me, and there's some ducks that came to visit too. Alright, so I'm gonna go grab this board real quick and keep you guys warm a bit. So this is our quick of the moment setup for the Muscovy ducks that are mature and able to come out. So there's a bar down here that we put at the bottom just in case something tries to crawl in and get in, and then we have this which is latched, and we have this type of netting that, if you can see, it's pretty small holes, and then we kind of just threw a tarp up on the last second just so they're not in direct, they have like more shelter to where they can just go right under the tarp whenever it rains and they're not in the direct rain. And they go under there too for the shade. We need to work it out where, as you can see, well, you may not know, but this is our coop, and we're planning on just cutting out the bottom half and making enough room for the Muscovies to actually go in the coop, but they'll still be separated on the inside, and I'll kind of talk more about that when I get in there, and I'll show you guys that. But we had run the chicken wire all the way down just in case we ever have chicks in here, and this is just an old gate that we used for like the pigs and the goats that we had up here. And so you can see it's just kind of homemade. It's not that hard to make once you figure it out. And then we have a barrel that has a hole in it. I don't believe either the hole's not big enough, but it's quite a good size for them, at least the females. But I don't believe any of them's been in here, and we've had them for, I want to say 2 weeks now. 2 weeks. And so I wouldn't say they're laying just yet, and hopefully by the time they do, we have the cutout and the coop for them. Are our Muscovies. This is our male right here. He has blue eyes. I don't want to get too close because I don't want to scare him or anything. I gave him some, last night I gave him some like split peas within their feed because they're a bit low on the feed. And I gave them some oatmeal, and I think they ate the oatmeal with the cracked corn, but they left the split peas, which I would leave the split peas too, so not upset about that. This is our female. She's really, really pretty. This black one right here, and then there's these white ones that are also females, and they have blue eyes. But we've had him probably for a month now, but we got them 2 weeks ago. And when we got him, we also got the ducklings that you seen in the earlier clip. And I don't believe the ducklings are related to him because the person had so many. So they're most likely kin to another pair of ducks. But he is adorable. I wish I may make another video in the future of just Muscovies as we are learning as well. But they lift up the hair on the top of them. Let's see if I can get my finger up there to point it. The hair right here. They'll lift it up, and kind of, that's more like if they're in alert, scared, or just kind of like saying I'm boss type deal. And for him, I've noticed when he sees me, if he wants something, say it's water or food, he will often wag his tail and start making the hissing sound, because Muscovies don't make a quacking sound like the normal ducks, so they're very quiet. Oh, they're so cute. You're gonna have to... Oh, zoomed in the wrong spot. I might be able to show you guys the sound they make. It might be too windy out here. If you can see, that's his crown. I don't think it's actually called a crown, but I'm just gonna call it a crown. You can see his blue eyes, he's so pretty. So these are our female rabbits. It's kind of hard to see. I'm not sure if the lighting's good enough, but I'm gonna open this up. They're, like I said, skittish to a point. They'll come up to you if you have food or anything for them. And we got them at a local feed store a couple years ago when they were little babies. You guys gonna come out? But there's not much to say. They were labeled as a standard breed, so what we think they are is probably like a Rex mix of some sort, or maybe like New Zealand, but our male in there is New Zealand. We're not sure if we're going to breed these with our male or if we'll just get a female New Zealand at some point, but we got a few months to think on that since he's still young. Alright, I'll leave you guys alone. Oh, now you guys come out. This is our coop. It is a 12 by 12. I believe the height for the bottom floor is 6 feet, because I'm 5'5" and I got a few inches on me, so I can go right under. I think it's 6. We do have a loft up completely in there. The animals that we have in here, and maybe old. He might be younger than that. I'm not sure, but we got him on accident actually because we were getting Freedom Rangers, and he ended up just being one of the Freedom Rangers. We thought he looked weird for a Freedom Ranger compared to the other chicks, and he turned out to be like this. So obviously we're keeping him. Here's our guineas. They have yet to start laying eggs. We've had them for about 2 months, and of course the peacock is going to get in the camera view. And this is Mr. Peabody, and this is Mrs. Peabody. They are about 2 years old. Here's a biofilter mixed rooster. He's still young. He's about a year old. And then this is our duck that we've had for quite a while, about 2 years as well. And this is these were chickens that, we have 2 of them. So if you see another one, that's what I'm talking about by these. But these are some hens that our neighbor gave us. And they are copper Moran hens. And there's another one right over here. They were too old to be laying, and so he gave them to us to kind of just retire them. And then once they came over, they were still laying eggs for us. So every now and then we still get a brown egg. They're about 8 years old and they're still laying. And she is about 6 years old. She's our Buff Orpington. Raised her as a chick. She was one of our first. So is this, I forgot the name right now. Plymouth Rock, or, I don't know why I can't think of the other names. Bard Rock, there we go. Okay, so this one right here. These 2 are our last of the 6 that we started with. The other ones have passed away. Not that long ago, we still had our black Australorp, which she just passed away just randomly. Every now and then that does happen, but she passed away like while they were free ranging, so we don't know if maybe she stayed out late and got too cold or what happened, but she was on the older side. And so these are the 2 that are left. She's practically my little baby best friend. I have a lot of photos of her and us hanging out. And so these black ones here should be Jersey Giants or black sex links. I'm pretty sure, since they're on the bigger side, they're the size of a Buff Orpington. So she's 6 years old. They're the size of a Buff Orpington. So she's 6 years old, this Buff Orpington. And these black chickens, we'll just say for that, they are only a year old, and they're about the same size, but they might be 2 years old, within that range. And they are the same size as this Buff Orpington. So they reached her size within a fraction of the time. So I believe they are our Jersey Giants. But I could be wrong on that, so don't hold it to me. Either way, they are pretty big birds. They do look quite a bit like our black Australorp. Here's our peacock. What are you doing, Mr. Peabody? You pretty. Yeah. He'll come up to the porch and take treats right from your hands, and he's not very friendly and beyond that, but we're not too worried about it. As long as he's, adjusted to us, understands that we're not going to attack them or anything like that, and we're not here to harm them. As long as they understand that, that's all that really matters to us. Okay. And I don't think it talks too long about the female, but that's her right there. But here's our mount, and there's been times that the male peacock has flown up onto our house because we wouldn't come outside to give him a treat right away, and so he'd try to get our attention that way. Here's the Muscovies, so they're kind of like right next to each other. There's the duck. I think she's looking for something. Okay. Anyways, they're probably ready to come outside, so I'm going to go ahead and let them do that. and we're gonna go on to the next animal. Guinea crossing. Okay. This is our Great Pyrenees Akbash mix. He was born in about like June or July of 2019, and he came home with me on like within August of the same year. And then we also have a black lab mix that is about 6 to 8 years. We got him whenever he was 1 year old, but we're not for sure because he looked older than what the owner said he was. And then we also have a kind of like a mixed breed dog, I guess. It was supposed to be a German Rottweiler, but it looks like it has like a hunting dog mixed in with him, and he should be 3 in December, I'd like to say. This is our horse and donkey. The donkey should be a couple years old now, and the horse should be turning 3 this year in June or July. And we got her at 10 months old. She was my graduation gift, and she's been pretty good. She was a little spunky when we first got her, and ever since I've been working with her and haven't had too many problems at all. What are you doing? Hi. You look at me? That's gross. I don't like you. Yeah. I'll come back and visit. Yeah, I'll come back. Yeah. Bye. Bye. This is Athena. She's 2 years old, commercial boar, and she decided to stay outside the pasture instead of going in the pasture with the other 2 goats that I'm going to go over to now. She's actually having some problems eating, so I'm just going to leave her out here. She's not really having problems eating, but it's just not gaining any weight, so I'm going to keep a closer eye on her. These are the other 2 goats we have. One is a female, and then this is our buck, so this is our doe. She might be pregnant. We're not for sure if she was pregnant. She was pregnant. She had have gotten pregnant a month ago, and I haven't seen her really come in heat. I'm not sure. She might be now. I don't know. We'll just have to keep an eye on that and see what's going on, because we're pretty sure he got a hold of her. I mean, we would prefer her to not be pregnant just yet due to the fact that she's still young, but a lot of people say that she should be fine. She's a percentage boar and should be 1 in May, and he is 50% commercial, and he is just a few months younger than her. This is our female pig. She was born in spring of 2018. She's had 2 litters for us. She is a little bit on the bigger side, as in has more pot belly rather than Juliana in her. And so she's a mix of both. And she's friendly, just not that friendly. This is her daughter. Try to get on camera. This is her daughter. She's about like half the size because she is just about 2 years old, and her mom should be like 3 years old now. But they're both a little more on the skittish side. When it comes to food, of course, they'll still come up to us, but that's about it. Yeah. Bye, guys. So this is Wilbur. He was born on Easter of 2018. He is a big boy. I don't know if you could see his tusk, but he used to let me rub his stomach when he was a little baby. And so he's about the same age as our oldest female, and he's the one that we bred with our oldest female. And he's also shy, a bit skittish. As you can see, he's standoffish. He prefers to kind of be by himself or be with other pigs or other animals in general. He loves goats. His best friends were goats. He's over there hiding.
But if I had food, they would eat out of my hands without a problem. We've never seen any aggression from them. They've never hurt any other animals. They've been with chickens, and we've never had a problem with it. Alright, bye Wilbur. Bye Wilbur. Right here is a male cat that showed up in our barn, which is like in the middle of the 5 acres we have here. And he showed up randomly. We don't believe he was dropped off because we have a gate. Someone would have to unlatch it. The dogs would start barking if that was the case. And he pretty much just showed up in the middle of the barn. He was kind of like hiding, and we kept hearing meows, and I was wondering what the heck the noise was, because I thought I was going insane. I knew we still had 2 other kittens at the time, and they were eating, so I was like, I don't think they can meow and eat at the same time. So I did some digging, and I found this kitten, and so we've just kept him ever since, and he's a boy. I'm not sure where the other cat is at that we had since the kitten that we purposely picked up. But Bo is the other cat, and Bo is no longer known to be a male. She is a girl, because we've recently found out, like a couple days ago, that the cat, or she's about a year old now, if not more. But the cat is actually female and is pregnant. So that's how we found out he was she, and we're gonna have kittens. So more barn kittens on the Findley Feather Farm. Alright. Bye, Diego. Without further ado, I'm going to open the door and let all these birds come out. Our Muscovies don't come out yet, because we haven't had them that long to where they're adjusted to come back or adjusted to stay on the property. But these guys have been here with us for a while, and they know the drill. So I'm going to go ahead and let them out. I'm going to go ahead and shake this. As you can see, they're all running. They're like, we know what's happening. Just see if I can zoom out. And oh, they knocked the feeder down. Alright, well, thanks guys for watching. If you haven't yet, please hit that subscribe button, comment, and like our videos. Thanks.